Welcome to Toad TV. Really, it's just like a mind of its own. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, and chilly December morning.
Yes, it is. I love lemon tea and my Christmas dogs.
And I am having Red Zinger in my Nutcracker mug that we got last year at TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Home Goods. It's all combined in one store for us. But we also have a pumpkin one by the same company. And I was just saying to Helen this morning, I love this mug. I love the shape of it. I love the size of it. And the colors they get are just beautiful.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the, I can't remember the name of the company. We would get Gran a mug every year in it. It was a German company.
Faltzcraft,
yeah. So, instead of collecting Faltzcraft like my grandmother used to, because they used to have really cool mugs, I'm going to be collecting Max Sarah mugs.
Okay.
Love these.
Mine is from Sadly Pure One.
Who is no more.
They are no more around us. I'm pretty sure they closed everything. But
2020 sucks. All right. Let's get on to happier news. Happier stuff. All right. Tabitha's tail says hello.
thank you so much to everybody who sold out the
December toast sale.
That went quickly.
That went very quickly. I was not expecting it to go quite as quickly as it did. But thank you guys very much.
Yep.
Those are now done. And
all the nice comments about the tail itself. So thank you.
for those of you that asked if we will be publishing it, I really don't know. Never thought that. So it was more coming up with a little story that went with yarn. We shall see.
We don't know the first thing about
Publishing.
We have to find us an illustrator first.
Yes. So anyway, but thank you guys very, very much.
I have a goatee.
What was it? There was something. There was a name for it. It wasn't a goatee.
Soul patch.
That's it. You have a soul patch. Oh my gosh. You. All right, let's do yarn and fabric.
Yeah.
All right, so for our advent calendar today, in Hallmark movies, there's always the little shop. It's a tea shop or a
Coffee shop.
or a cupcake.
Yeah.
A little bakery that has little chairs, you know.
It's like, it's the place where you want to go. You want to have one because there are only like 5 or 6 tables and you just sit down and you have your little conversation. And then, realistically, nobody can actually maintain something like that. But it's a lovely idea.
In Hallmark, you can.
Yeah.
Tea shop. Very, very pale pink with soft greens.
Green. We were just talking yesterday about
That's my finger sticking through. Sorry.
a different color and discontinuing it, but it was pink and green. And I said, even if we discontinue it, I will always have pink and green.
Yeah, in
somewhere.
one form or another, there will always be pinks and greens. And greens and purples, too, because that seems to be a color we gravitate towards. But there you go, the tea shop. This is going to look beautiful in my blanket.
Yes, yes.
All right, and then for our fabric, this is... When Helen wanted to get this fabric to begin with, I was questioning her because I was only seeing the colors, which are very pretty. Huh?
You should never question me.
Yes, which are very pretty, but not necessarily what I would go for. And then you start seeing all the birds in there, and then it's just, oh, okay. Because for some reason, we gravitate towards birds.
Yeah.
So this is the fabric for today. This is really pretty.
It is beautiful.
It's great blue. So if you're doing your quilt by seasons, spring.
Yep.
All right. Would you like to talk about what you're wearing?
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Let me do what I'm wearing first just because it's not part of the knitting.
The state of the knitting.
Okay. Hi-Ho kit, done in 2 colors. This is done in Peruvian Viper Tooth, and the gray is the Standing Stones. We sent this out as a test knit. So that is what I am wearing because I have stains on my shirt. Okay.
It is the Hi Ho Shawl by Corey Eichelberger.
Right.
So
Okay. Conversation off camera. What are you wearing?
I have a finished object, State of the Knitting. I will take it off, but I'm not sure what it's going to do to the hair. This is my Shire Stones hat by Mina Phillips, the knitting expat. And a couple weeks ago, I put out the call for hat patterns, and you guys came through with full force. So the first one I chose was the Shire Stones hat because I was intrigued by the brim. She has you knit an extra long brim, and then as you start the body of the hat, you fold it up and pick up the stitches at the bottom of the brim so that you always have a double brim. And you don't have to worry about when you try and fold up the brim of a hat, it never really stays, and now it always will. And you get an extra warm spot around your ears. So that was what intrigued me. I also love the texture, the pattern. I will say it took me probably about a week and a half to knit the double ribbing and maybe 4 days to whip through the hat. So once you're done the ribbing,
Piece of cake.
it just flies. At one point, Meredith looked over and she's like, "Oh my God, look how much you did."
Yeah.
So really fun knit.
I love the pattern of the hat.
Yeah, really easy pattern repeat to remember and keep track of as you're going along to see how many repeats you've done. So yeah, love the hat. It's going to be really warm on my ears tonight when we go
I was
for
going
a
to
walk.
say, you just finished it, so it's going to get its trial run
Right.
today.
I will say that the problems I was having with my hat stay over my ears, I figured out what the problem was. It's sort of like, when you find out things when you're in your, advanced years, you're not 5. And you're like, why didn't I know that?
Right. Why did I spend the first half of my life not knowing
Right.
this?
How come I did not know this? There's an order to putting your clothes on when you're going outside. I always put my shawl on first. I am a big baby. Let's just start right there. So if it's below 32 degrees, I'm going to have a lot on me. So I always have a shawl on. Last night was particularly cold, so I also had a cowl on for the neck and the face, and then a hat. And I've been wearing a DK shawl, so I wrap my shawl around me, put my coat on, put my hat on. That's the wrong order. You put the hat on, then the shawl. Because what I realized one day as we were walking was the back of the shawl keeps pushing up the back of the hat, and it pushes up off my ears. So if I put the hat on first, then the shawl kind of goes around the back of the hat.
And anchors it.
And miraculously, my ears have been extremely warm.
Yeah.
So there's an order to putting your clothes on.
You're welcome. In case you're like us and you didn't know this.
But yeah, so love the hat.
It is really a very, very pretty hat.
Yeah. So and also hats are very, very satisfying. Oh, and I own the great thing about this hat is one skein of our DK weight yarn. I have 14 grams left.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm left with a ton left. I'm not worried about finishing it. So perfect.
And it's big enough to fit your brain, so...
Yeah, and I have a big brain. Not as big as brainy brain, but
Not many have.
love you, man. Your 2 cents wasn't asked for. But they're very satisfying because it's quick and easy knit, one skein of yarn.
Yeah. I have mine.
If you live in a colder clime, everybody always needs a hat. So I just have to decide whether I keep this or I have a last minute Christmas gift.
We bought our Christmas gifts. You get to keep that. I'm doing mine out of the night sky.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Curie and the Trolls from our December fairy tale.
Okay. So here's the night sky. Also from our December fairy tales. And that's as far as I've gotten. I was having, knitting the brim together. I was having
that was fiddly.
fiddly time, but then I realized if you did it the way she wanted you to and you had picked up those stitches on another needle and you were actually doing it properly, it would not be a difficult thing at all. However, I did not do that. So as I was knitting the stitch from the needle and picking up from the bottom hem, it was a little bit fiddly, but it worked out fine. So I am just starting the pattern. I have just gotten to the part where I'm starting the pattern. So this is going to go fairly quickly, I hope. It does not look like it is going to be big enough to fit. However, Helen's didn't either. And
yeah, I mean, it's a really nice stretchy brim.
yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to this because, as Helen said, warm hats.
So here, hold them up together.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the last fairy tale.
There you go. That's
Moving on to bigger and better things next year.
Tales are done. My God. So sad.
I will say my head is now cold. I haven't worn it.
End of the year.
Yep.
All right. There we go. All right. Do you have another knitting to show?
I do. My sweater is coming along, like in the bag. It's just sitting there.
Staring at her malevolently periodically.
I have to pick up the stitches for the sleeves, and I don't know why I've been blocking, but then I got on it, but then I got so close to finishing the hat that it was just like, okay, I'll just finish the hat, and then I have to pick up the sleeves. But then one day I wanted to... Oh, we started wearing our shawls on camera.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, we need more shawls to wear. So I better pick up my next shawl. This, I started back in October when we dyed up the Moody Moon. That was the How We Dye video. So this is Moody Moon. Definitely need another New Jersey Beaches. And New Jersey Beaches. And it's the NYX shawl by Melanie Berg. And I love how it displays Moody Moon.
It does display it beautifully.
So I picked this up and I did a couple rows the other day.
Easy knit.
Easy knit.
Garter down here.
Garter with some eyelets. And then these are all slip stitches. So it looks much more complicated than it actually is as far as the mermaid scales. So easy knit. You start your row and you get the pattern repeat for the row down very quickly and just go along. So
it is beautiful.
it is.
God, it just, the New Jersey Beaches is showing it off so nicely.
It's just the perfect foil for any textured yarn, variegated yarn. So that's the NYX, NIXE.
New Jersey Beaches will definitely be sticking around.
Yeah.
Also, Jenny had a question. She said that please, please, please don't let Carrisford be one of the ones to go. The little black dress of knitting is not going anywhere. Oh, trust me.
Most of the tonals are sticking around.
We're going through and we're like, shall we get rid of this dud?
I jokingly said, let's get rid of Moonstone yesterday.
Helen's like, what do you think anybody would do if we got rid of Moonstone? Revolt. Absolute revolt. Okay, so I am working on The Secret Garden, which is by Tracy Arnold, right? I'm working on The Secret Garden shawl by Tracy Arnold for Nora George Yarns, only I have cast on, I think, 250 stitches, and I'm making mine into a blanket. God, I know, isn't it? So I have done Candy Cane Lane, and the second one...
She's using this year's Advent colors.
Which is the Scene Stealing Dog.
Okay.
Should know that. All right. So finish the first one. Here's the Scene Stealing Dog. I put Snow White in the middle. I have 2 skeins of Snow White that got a little bit of red on them. So we couldn't sell them. So I am using them as my in-between. I am only doing 2 or 3 rows in between each, because it depends on where I run out of yarn. I'm just taking the yarn until I finish it, and then wherever I run out, I will finish that row and then make sure that I go up and back at least once, and then depending on whether I finished on a right side row so that I am doing an extra wrong side, I will always wind up starting the new color right side. But that's where it is so far. Here, let me turn it this way so you can see the speckles for Snow White. So there's one of those speckles for Snow White right there. That's what I'm trying to say. That is as far as I have gotten.
You're just having problems with your words.
Yes.
I have gotten.
That is as far as I have gotten. I am working on
Multiple projects.
No. The section that I am doing right now has a lot of yarn overs and the CCDs, central decreases, and knit two together, and a lot of paying attention to the...
You were not enjoying.
So, and I have a lot more to go. Because Yarn 2 is also 2 10-gram minis, and I'm not even through the first one. So I know I still have another whole 10-gram mini to get through. However, that's where I am so far.
So it's worth it.
So somebody had suggested using Carrisford in between as my in-between thing, because I wanted to do something quick in between. She has you, if you follow her instructions, she has you fading the colors into each other. I chose to do a direct break because I wanted to use the entire mini skein of yarn. So I didn't want to try and figure out when I was supposed to be doing the fade. And since I'm doing it as a blanket, not as a shawl, I'm not working on her number of rows, it's just, anyway. So I decided I'd go with something, just break the colors very lightly.
I think for what you're doing, the delineation between colors, it lets each color speak for itself.
Right.
You're not, because some of the colors will fade very well into each other.
Right.
So
anyway, somebody had suggested using Carrisford, and the reason I'm not doing that is because I do want there to be something, but I don't want it to take away from either of the colors. So I think Carrisford would be too bright and too dark, whereas Snow White just gives you a line of white in between, and it kind of blends into the red, but you can see that there's something between the red and the yellow coming up. So that's kind of the look I was going for, which is why I opted to go with this. So that is the state of my blanket. I am, 16 days behind on my colors. However,
you're going to catch up in no time.
In no time at all. It will be just...
It's a long-term project.
Yeah. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is. I love it. I love the way our colors are going. So it will just be whether I decide to continue with the pattern or I get totally fed up and just turn it into a garter stripe blanket with some decorative stuff on the edges and just call it a day and just do garter stripe for most of the yard. We shall see.
Yeah.
Because my the striping one that I was doing with the other advent calendar that has been put away for right now, I really loved working on that just because it's so mindless.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it. So we shall see. This may be a hybrid. Who knows? Anyway, so that is the state of the knitting right now.
Okay.
Helen very kindly caked me up gingerbread house yesterday. So, all right. We will see you guys tomorrow.
We will see you guys on Monday.
It's Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday. Oh,
Christmas is a week from today.
Oh my God. All our presents are done.
All
the stuff we had
all our presents are in varying stages of delivery.
Right.
So,
however, we wrapped the ones that we needed to wrap.
They're going out today.
Those are the boys. That was the most important one.
Yeah.
So those are going. Everything else is on its way to people.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's in a week.
Okay, so have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes, enjoy.
Enjoy making cookies, doing whatever last minute holiday prep you're doing. If you don't celebrate any of the holidays, have a lovely, relaxing weekend.
Yeah.
And we will see you Monday.
Yes. Go forth and create.
Bye.
Bye.